Nobody wants to spend their time looking for a lawyer, searching on the internet, making phone calls, only to find out that the lawyer that you're speaking to cannot help you with your matter. One of the largest areas of confusion involves clients looking for a civil rights lawyer versus a civil lawyer. And I want to explain the difference today because it's going to save you a tremendous amount of time, and you're going to have a better focus on knowing who it is that you're trying to retain as a lawyer to help you. Civil lawyer is a general term for any lawyer that resolves disputes of a non-criminal nature. Okay, so they're not defending any actions in criminal court. They don't get involved with prosecution, defense. They don't handle things like drug arrests or any sort of grand jury issues or convictions. Or if it's criminal, that is a criminal lawyer who handles that. But a civil lawyer only handles disputes that involve things like contracts and business disputes and partnership disputes. And civil lawyers will also be involved in personal injury cases, some of them. They'll also defend personal injury cases. So it's focused on monetary recovery or some sort of injunctive relief, but it all focuses around those general areas of law. Now, conversely, civil rights lawyers, they handle matters that involve governmental entities, police misconduct, discrimination, and other areas of law that involve governmental or municipal entities for the most part. That's not to say that a civil trial lawyer doesn't defend, let's say, municipalities under an insurance provision. Sure, in a civil claim, you might have that. But the distinction here that I want to make is that if you have a claim against a governmental entity or a police department or discrimination at some high level, sometimes you've got people that are unfortunately in jail and they have mistreatment by people in the prisons. Sometimes you've got people that are wrongfully arrested or things of that nature. That is a civil rights lawyer. When your civil rights have been impacted, you don't need a civil lawyer, someone that handles contracts and personal injury disputes. You need somebody that is a specialist in the area of civil rights. You have to think to yourself, what's the nature of my matter? Let's say that you were wrongfully arrested and you have some claim of, police brutality. You are going to want to look for a civil rights lawyer, not a civil lawyer. So instead of wasting your time and searching, the internet or Google for civil lawyer near me, look for a civil rights lawyer. There is a big distinction. Now, I understand how tricky it can be when you're trying to search for what type of lawyer you need, because in some instances, words are used interchangeably. So for example, let's say that you are pulled over and wrongfully arrested based on your ethnicity or your race, and you want to sue the police department. Well, in that case, yes, you were discriminated against, but your claim is based on civil rights remedies because you're suing the police department, and you're suing because your civil rights were violated. You could have discrimination in a civil sense as well, which is completely different. So let's say that you are an employee in a company and the company has discriminated against you because you are a female or a male or for any other reason, a religious reason or whatnot, that would violate a state law against discrimination statute. In that instance, you don't have a civil rights claim per se, you have a claim against the employer for discriminating against you and violating certain state statutes. So I understand how that can be tricky, but general rule of thumb is that if you are looking to sue a municipality or the police department or some, governmental entity, prison or something along those lines, you need a civil rights attorney because your civil rights have been violated. If you have a claim involving breach of contract or a personal injury action, or employment issues. That's a civil lawyer. So this one little distinction will help you when you're searching for a lawyer if you can make sure that you focus in on what your claim is. You can even Google, I've been harassed by the police. What type of claim do I have? And it will likely point you in the area of civil rights. And once you see that, then you could narrow your search for an attorney to a civil rights attorney and stop wasting your time calling civil lawyers who can't help you. I hope this is clear, and I hope this helps, because oftentimes, I hear phone calls from people where they spend so much time telling their story only to find out that the lawyer can't help them because the lawyer doesn't handle civil rights claims. And then they argue and say, but wait a minute, the internet says you are a civil lawyer. Yes, I'm a civil lawyer, but I'm not a civil rights lawyer. And that's an area of frustration for a lot of people looking for a civil rights attorney. So keep that in mind. Do a little research, look up the distinctions between civil rights and a civil lawyer. Hopefully this video helps and it'll save you a lot of time and effort.
I've been trying to find my way. Take me by the hand.